Hello and welcome to my October newsletter video update. The markets have certainly continued their roller coaster ride since my last newsletter video to you, and they have all now started to congest since their big drops. The best way to see what is happening is to view the charts, so we'll do that in a moment, and I will also update you on the trades that I shared in my last newsletter video to you. If you missed my last newsletter video, you can view it from my website or my YouTube channel. Before I get started, I just need to remind you that I'm not licensed to provide any personal investment advice. This video and all the charts and trades I share are for illustrative purposes only, and I'm just showing you how I view the current market and sharing this with you. So let's head on over to Metastock and see what's been happening in the market. On the screen here is a chart of the ASX 200. Now, the Aussie market had been in a beautiful uptrend channel and moved as high as the 6,000 level before it fell away, broke its uptrend line, and then got all the way down to 5,000, where it's been bouncing around. Now, it has dipped below the 5,000 level and tested below it, but has always managed to move and close back above it by the end of the week. If we head on over to the daily chart, you can see this in a lot more detail. You can see where it broke its uptrend line. You can also see how it started to build up a little bit of a descending triangle and even pushed below the 5,000 level and looked like a break of a descending triangle, which was a very unhealthy sign. But lo and behold, it ended up being a false breakout, and then it bounced, moved higher, and even moved above its short-term downtrend line, and has now made equal highs to over here. So if there is to be some health come back into this market, we're looking for a break of this short-term resistance sign that's been building up. But of course, I've got no idea what's going to happen. I just continue to trade my trading system and take the signals as they come up and track everything with my stop losses. If we go back to the weekly chart, you can see how the market had become unhealthy and how it has fallen lower. So it will be really interesting to see whether it continues to maintain above this 5,000 level and continues congesting, and whether some health will come back into the market or not. But right now there's a significant support level at 5,000 and a significant resistance level at the 6,000 mark. So let's check out what the US market's been doing from the S&P 500 chart. On the screen here is a weekly chart of the S&P US market, and it's still continuing its beautiful uptrend. It did get steeper and move into a channel there for a while, but then it broke out of its channel. And it's building up some support around the 1850 mark, which it is holding. But the moving average has rolled over a little bit and the share price is trading below it. But it is holding this long-term uptrend, and so far it's holding this support, so they are good signs. If we go to the daily chart, you can see the big drop that happened in here, and you can see that's bouncing around. Looks like a bit of a double bottom has occurred here, and you've got the V in the middle around here. Let me just get a line in here. So it has managed to actually break the V if you look at the levels here, but if you take into account the high, then it's just testing that high point now. So it will either continue to congest or it will move higher. As with the markets, anything is possible. So let me now give you an update on a couple of my trades that I shared with you in my last newsletter video. As you know, I predominantly trade two systems. I've got my long-term weekly system, and the goal of that system is to stay with those stage 2 uptrends. If there's any signs that that trend is ending, then I want to get out of it. Then I've got my medium-term daily system that I trade with CFDs, and I can hold trades from a few days to a few weeks, and this system trades both long and short in direction. And I shared two trades, a long trade and a short trade, with you in my last newsletter video. Both these trades are still open, unlike the weekly trade, which has hit its stop loss. So let's go back over to Metastock now. So on the screen here is a chart of ImpediMed. Now this is a share that I bought into with the weekly trading system. It came up in my weekly scan when it managed to break through the $1 mark and moved beyond this congestion point here. It had been in a beautiful uptrend and had risen very sharply, from about 30 cents all the way up to $1, and then it started to congest. Then once it broke through $1, that's when I got another signal, and that's when I entered into it. I missed the trend over here because I had other trades running as well. So I liked what I saw over here. I bought into it, but unfortunately it wasn't able to hold its highs. It did get up to about $1.25 before it fell away, collapsed, got back to its uptrend line, which was fine, but then it wasn't able to bounce and it continued to move lower, and I had my stop loss set below the uptrend line and I was taken out of the trade. So I held this trade for all of 69 trade days because I do have a longer hold time with this system. I lost a negative 18% return on this trade. That's the difference between my entry price and where I exited out of the trade. Now, my actual loss was kept to a small amount of 0.7 R multiple loss. Now, when I talk about R multiples, when I open a trade, I don't want to lose more than a 1R loss. So if you've got a $50,000 trading account, say, and you're happy to risk 1 or 2% of that, that's your 1R. So if you're happy to risk 1% of a $50,000 trading account, that would be $500. So I will position size the trade based on where my stop loss is sitting and my entry price, and I will buy accordingly. So if my stop loss is hit, I will know that I will not lose any more than $500. If the share goes my way a little bit, my stop loss moves up. So I had a stop loss set here. As the share moved higher, it moved up, and then it flatlined when the share stopped making higher highs, and then it was eventually hit. So it might look like a big negative return of 18%, but I lost less than my 1R that I set out to lose on a trade. And my goal is to keep my losing trades so I don't ever lose more than 1R. And as the stop loss tightened a little bit, I was able to tighten that up and I lost a 0.7R. Then I want to have some winning trades where I'm going to make larger multiples of R. And that's what makes my trading profitable. You're going to have some losses in there, that's all part of trading, but keep those losses small and you want to let those profitable trades run. So I've got some nice trades still running with my weekly system that I'm happy to stay with. So let me now share my daily system trades that I had in the last newsletter video update with you. I'll just close this down. Here's a short trade that I shared with you. The markets were looking very unhealthy last month and I was getting a lot of short signals. This share had already broken through a support level, it had bounced back up, and then it fell away again and came up in my trading system. I liked what I saw, having a nice fall. It had also retested resistance and was now falling away. So I took a short position on the 22nd of September at $5.49. It has since fallen lower and is going sideways for a little bit, but there's no reason for me to do anything right now. The only thing I have done is I've tightened my stop loss up a little bit because the share's starting to build up a little bit of resistance around this area. So if it does break through this, then I want to exit. So I've tightened my stop loss up just above the $5.50 mark. And we'll see what happens. If it does move lower and actually breaks below this level here, then that means there's more downside coming. So I'm happy to stay with this short trade and let the market tell me what to do. There are also no upcoming dividends coming up on this trade, so there's no reason for me to take any other action. Because if you do have a short trader open and a share pays a dividend, you will need to pay that dividend amount and it will automatically come out of your CFD trading account. If you have a long trade, then obviously you get paid the dividend amount. So everything works the opposite way around when you're short selling. I've also been building up into a series of long trades as the market's been rebounding. And the one that I shared with you in my last newsletter video update, we'll take a look at now. So on the screen here is the long trade that I entered into on the 14th of September, which was over here when it bounced off its uptrend line. Now this share had been going sideways for some time and had built up a little bit of resistance at this price level here. And then it had a huge gap, broke through but wasn't able to hold it and collapsed back. And it tested a few times breaking through, and then finally it got above it and got support from this price level. I always like it when you get that support where it actually breaks out but it comes back and retests it and then moves away from it. So I had the confidence once it came up in the system over here to enter into it at that stage, because before that it was still struggling to stay above that resistance level. And it has also developed a nice uptrend line. So it had a nice bounce off an uptrend line, which is what I also like to see. And since I've entered into it, it's moved beautifully higher. And my stop loss has continued to move higher. The shares also moved beyond $2, which is that nice round number. And I have received a dividend of 6 cents in this trade as well. But I am conscious that this share is coming up to a significant resistance level from the past. You can see where it got resistance at around the $2.15 level over here and some support back here. So it's coming up close to that price level now. So I have tightened my stop loss up. So it is below the round number of $2. And that way, if it doesn't push through and it rejects it, then I've actually protected a little bit more profits in this trade. If it does push through, then I've still got the trade open and running. So we'll see what pans out with that trade, and I'll share an update with you in my next newsletter video. So before we finish up, I just want to remind you about my Charting for Beginners 101 free 10-day e-course that I have available. I released it back in September and I've had some fantastic feedback, and I appreciate the emails that you've been sending to me, because it's emails like this that continue to inspire me to share what I love to do. And here's some of the feedback here that I've received. Thank you, Justine. I placed my first 2 trades since completing your free charting e-course. I've been out of the market for a couple of months, and your course and the Smart Technical Analysis Home Study course have given me the confidence to jump back into the market again. One big thing I've learnt since completing the e-course is how important it is to keep things simple. Don't overpopulate your charts with too much information as you lose sight of the bigger picture. So that's a really good point there that Stephen makes about not overcomplicating your charts, because with technical analysis there's so many indicators out there and you can get bogged down by indicators. I know I did. I had a 10 indicator checklist and I had that many indicators on my charts. I actually couldn't make a trading decision in the end. So my goal with this course is to take you back to those basics and reinforce why it's so important about keeping it simple. And then I received this feedback from Julian. Since watching your free 10-day course, I have made back more than my losses in under a month. I have lost money trying to day trade and have realised it wasn't for me. So now I've made my losses back and starting to profit. Thank you. And I appreciate you sharing that with me, Julian, because I too did try day trading for a while and I couldn't make it work either. But sometimes you have to try these different things to know whether it's for you or not. And it definitely wasn't my cup of tea, and it wasn't going to suit my lifestyle ongoing once I had children. Because with day trading, you have to dedicate your day to being in front of the computer while that particular market is open. I know some people that trade of an evening in other world markets, but I much prefer to be sleeping at night time than having trading affect my sleep. So I have this belief that trading can be as stressful as you like it to be, and I want to trade with a stress-free life. And the only way to do that is to create a trading style that suits your lifestyle. So if you are interested, head on over to smarttrading.com.au, put /charting101, and you'll go to a web page where you can enter your name and email, and then you will receive a new video each day for the next 10 days. But you can skip ahead, as I do have a link under each video to the next video if you want to do it all in one day. And if you've got any friends or family that are also interested, feel free to pass my email on to them and they can check it out. One of the reasons why I created it is I get a lot of people saying to me, so tell me more about charting. So now I can just tell them, go on over to this free e-course that I've set up and you can learn all about it there. Also, I've got 2 upcoming events coming up in Queensland. I'm speaking at the ATAA monthly meetings and sharing my adventures of a share trader. I'm going to be showcasing what I do each day in the market, and that includes running a live market scan and going through my process of what I do and how I then place the trade. So I will be speaking at the Gold Coast on Tuesday the 17th of November at the Nerang RSL, and then I will be in Brisbane the next night on Wednesday the 18th of November at the Greek Club. Now the meetings start at 6 p.m. and they are free for ATAA members and first-time visitors. So if you want to know more about the ATAA, check out their website, which is www.ataa.com.au, and you'll see a link to the monthly meetings, and there'll be information about that on there. There's also information on my website under the seminars link. But please do check the ATAA website in case for some reason the venue changes. If you do come along to the meeting, make sure you come up and say hello to me in the break or at the end of the event. And don't forget how important it is to have a trading plan in the market. That is the key to my trading success. So if you don't have a trading plan and you need help, then check out my book Smart Trading Plans. It's available to purchase from my website and then I will post it to you, or you can download it in Kindle version from Amazon. It's also available in most major bookstores as well, or they can order it in for you. And make sure you have a good look around my website. If you want to learn all about my trading systems and strategies, then check out my Smart Trading Plan and System Development online course, as this is the course I share it all with you, including my system scans, money management, trading tools, and lots more. If you don't receive my monthly newsletter, then make sure you sign up to my free special report on the homepage, or simply sign up to that free e-course, because you will go into my database and you will start to get notified when I release a new market video. I also have more information within the email that goes out with the video. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact details are in the Contact Us area on my website. Goodbye for now.